I'm Dr. Larry Kilmar, Vice President and Director of Collections for Tampa's Lowry Park Zoo, and welcome to Wildlife at Tampa's Lowry Park Zoo. I'm in the Sulawesi aviary today with Josh, and we're going to be talking about the Tarictic Hornbill. And Josh, this is a very interesting, rare, and significant hatching for the zoo. Tell us a little bit about the natural history of the Tarictic Hornbill.
Well, Tarictic hornbills are all found in Indonesia. There's about 7 species. Some dispute whether or not there are more, but they're all found in the Philippines and on the island of Sulawesi, which these guys are from. We've got the Sulawesi Tarictics. These guys in the wild are actually pretty gregarious species. They can sometimes be found in groups of up to 20 individuals, which is pretty rare for hornbills. Most species aren't found in large herds at all or flocks at all. But these guys, what's really interesting about hornbills in general, not necessarily our species, is the nesting habits. What the hornbills will do is the females will mud themselves up in nest cavities, and this is to protect them as well as their chicks. And essentially they will molt everything as well that provides some insulation and down for the chicks to sit in and rest in. And they will stay in there with the chicks right until they're about to fledge. And up until that point, the only provider of food for the chick and for the mother is actually the father. So these guys have to work very hard to take care of their families. So they're very, very good parents in that regard. Our species here at the zoo, the Tarictics, are actually pretty unique. These guys usually nest in tree cavities up high away from the ground, and our pair have decided that they actually would prefer to nest on the ground, which is a little nerve-wracking for us because it's not necessarily a safe choice for them. But they have done very well. This is the second time they've nested for us and the first time that they've nested and we've had a chick fledge. And he's actually about 4 months, 3 months, actually almost 4 months old now. He hatched at the very end of April. I believe it was April 28th was the first day we started hearing sounds coming out of the nest box. And he fledged on the 11th of July. So he's been out for about 2 months now. He's flying around, eating on his own. Our pair as well, it's pretty interesting. People don't realize the value of these guys in the wild. These guys are a flagship species, especially a lot of the bigger hornbills. They're essential to the planting and the harvesting of a lot of the tree species found in the rainforest. These guys are primarily frugivores. They'll eat fruits, seeds, insects. Some of the larger species will eat small birds, primates, things of that nature. Usually protein first thing in the morning, insects, and then they get fed twice a day, usually around 9, and then again about 12. And their diet is primarily fruit. We give them a fruit salad with apples, pears. They love bananas, but they also get a little bit of protein in that as well. We'll give them soaked dog food. Our guys as well, they love bugs, and they do eat pinkies. So they get a lot of protein.
Now they play an important role in the forest and nature, and the fact that when they do eat the fruits, the natural fruits off the trees, as they go through the forest, they help spread those seeds as they pass through them. So they play a pretty important role, and the concern is that as hornbills come under more pressure, that particular part of their behavior is going to be missed, which is always going to affect the quality of the forest. Now, the Tarictic gets its name because of that call, right? It's like Tarictic, tick, tick, tick. That's part of the reason, and it's a very interesting vocalization. What other unique things, as the person who takes care of these birds, what other unique features have you seen?
These guys are very acrobatic flyers, definitely. They're actually really strong flyers as well. I've also noticed our species, they're very curious, they're very playful. So we do provide them with enrichment, not only with live crickets, things of that nature. We'll also give them toys, sometimes puzzle feeders, just simple puzzle feeders, not something super complicated like a parrot would play with. But they're very curious and they're very smart.
The other thing, the reason they have the name hornbill is because of that casque on the top of their head. Now, some of them actually use that as part of their vocalization, that resonation, but that's basically like your fingernail. That's what it is. It's just glutenated hair that is formed on top. And you see the different species of hornbill, which there are numerous, and they'll all have this distinct characteristic. And we hope over time that we'll build up our hornbill collection, because this is a species that really needs a lot of work in captivity. Well, Josh, thank you very much. This is very interesting, very informative. Congratulations on your success.